is the best new performance car? To find out, we brought together 20 hot models that were released over the past year here to Anglesey Racing Circuit and then tested them back to back over 3 days.
Our contenders range from hot hatches to hyper saloons and from lightning fast limousines to drop-top supercars. However, while they included some seriously expensive pieces of kit, none were ultra-rare limited-run models. As part of our testing, we used specialist timing equipment so our resident racing driver Owen Mildenhall could set a lap time in each. You can see these individual videos with his commentary by clicking on a model on the right side of this page. Outright speed wasn't everything though. The machine that would eventually be crowned Auto Express Performance Car of the Year for 2010 would need to deliver the best balance of pace, fun and value for money and be voted unanimously so by the magazine's road test team.
Okay, it's time to strap yourselves in, turn up the volume and check that your boss can't see your computer screen because we're going to start our countdown.
In last place at 20 is the Subaru Cosworth Impreza STI. With 395 brake horsepower and 4-wheel drive, there's no denying it's proper fast. But the £50,000 price tag is just obscene. At 19, it's the Renault Twingo Cup. Just like with an old school hot hatch, affordable fun is the name of the game. Sadly, this little car can get tiring after a while. The Seat Leon Cooper R takes 18th place. The Spaniard is quick and capable, but somehow not quite as much fun as you'd think. A Skoda is at 17. With 180 brake horsepower, the Fabia VRS is surprisingly rapid, in a straight line at least. So what was our resident racing driver's verdict?
It doesn't look like a natural performance car because it's a bit tall and it's got a funny stance on the road, but it's actually got lots of technology in it that you would have only found in more expensive cars just a few years ago. So it's got a very interesting twin-charged engine which gives you a nice punchy performance and a DSG gearbox. So it's quite a nice little everyday road car with some nice performance thrown in, but it's not great on the track. The chassis is a little bit numb and not that enjoyable on the track.
16th is the Honda CRZ. Okay, the green machine was the slowest car around our track, but it serves up more fun than you'd ever expect from an eco-friendly hybrid.
Subaru fans among you may be a bit disappointed with this car's poor showing and might feel the need to have a bit of a moan about it on your forums. Anyway, while they're doing that, shall the rest of us move on to some better performance cars?
At 15, it's the Bentley Continental Supersports. With 621 brake horsepower, the British behemoth was far quicker around our track, and something which weighs 2 tonnes had a right to be. The Golf R is at 14. A great engine, all-wheel drive and a predictable chassis makes it easy to drive fast. Almost too easy. 13th is the Jaguar XJ Supersports, a limo that can do Larry just as well as luxury. Let's find out what our man Owen thought of it.
It's got a completely split personality. On the one hand, on the road, you've got a comfortable executive car with a really powerful supercharged engine. But on the track, if you turn off all the safety systems, it turns into an absolute drift machine.
A new entry-level 1.6 litre engine hasn't diluted the Elise's fun factor. Shame the Lotus costs 27 grand. If it was cheaper, it would have scored higher than 12. Coming in at 11, Audi's new 444 brake horsepower RS5 misses out on the top 10, but only by the narrowest of margin, as it really is a great car. But does Owen like it?
Stonking engine, loads of power, really good forward drive traction, nice paddle shift gearbox, lovely raspy exhaust note, so it's everything you'd expect from a top-notch Audi performance car.
If we were rating cars solely on their price and their weight, then the Bentley probably would have come out on top, but we weren't. And that's why the following cars actually ranked higher.
The Aston Martin Rapide takes 10th place. While beautiful to look at and great fun to drive, it's not as sharp as the very best performance cars. Coming 9th means the Renault Sport Megane 250 Cup has humbled some far more expensive machinery. Let's see what Owen thought of it.
Well, it's definitely the king of the hot hatches on track. It's the best chassis for driving on the track, really good brakes, great engine, it's really good value as well. The only thing is in cup form, it's a little bit uncomfortable on the road, the ride's quite unforgiving, but it's a fantastic hot hatch.
If you have regular access to a track, it's worth selling both your kidneys to buy a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. It posted the fastest lap time of any of our 20 cars. Sadly, it's just too hardcore for everyday use, hence 8th place. Mercedes' thundering E63 AMG storms in at 7. It's a Jekyll and Hyde car that can do relaxing if you like, yet raise utter hell when you're in the mood. At 6 is the Porsche Boxster Spider. While it is quite pricey, every one of our test team fell in love with it, especially Owen.
Well, the normal Boxster is one of the most beautifully balanced cars you could ever drive, and this one just takes it to a whole new level. It's the most sublime car I've ever driven on the track in terms of the balance. It's absolutely gorgeous, so much fun. But with the sort of non-standard roof, it's a little bit difficult to live with every day. It's a little bit expensive. But if you could afford a second car, this is the best road carpet ever driven on the track.
So then, that's 15 cars dealt with, which means we've only got 4 more to go until we reveal the Auto Express Performance Car of the Year for 2010. Let's see how the top 5 panned out.
At 5, it's the BMW M3. Yes, it's been out a while, but this one is fitted with a new competition package, bumping up the BM's price tag by £3 grand to over £56,000. It includes gearbox, suspension and stability control tweaks. So does our resident racing driver think the pack breathes new life into the old dog?
It's been around for ages, the M3, but you forget what a fantastic performance car it is. You know, it's so solid, so well balanced. It can be playful when you want it to be, it can be fast when you want it to be. It's a great engine, and now it's got a double clutch gearbox. It's really, really sweet.
It may be one of the least powerful cars in our lineup, but that hasn't stopped the Peugeot RCZ scooping a giant kill in 4th place. In the case of this range-topping 200 THP model, the French machine is just as good to drive as it is to look at. I think we'll let Owen sum up.
Well, it's been a while since Peugeot's made a really good driver's car, and this is definitely one of those. It looks great, but it's really good to drive as well. The THP 200's got its own front subframe, different hubs from the other cars, and you can really feel the difference. It really resists understeer, good brakes, nice gearbox. A little bit lacking in power compared to some of the most powerful hot hatches, but it's a lovely, lovely all-round car.
3rd place goes to the fabulous Mercedes SLS AMG. This is a car that has it all. Imposing looks, unique doors, a thumping 563 brake horsepower V8 and an incredibly sharp chassis. In fact, the SLS posted the 3rd fastest lap time of all our cars. So what did Owen think of it?
Well, there's more to this car than just the gold wing doors, because it's a really serious performance car. It's got really good traction, amazing performance, really nice turn-in, did a really good lap time actually, much quicker than you'd imagine for a big heavy front engine car. And the engine makes an amazing noise when it's on the lift off, really amazing noise.
Narrowly missing out on the top spot in 2nd place is the Audi R8 V10 Spider, a drop-top supercar that anyone can enjoy any day of the year. The coupe version actually won this very competition last year, so is chopping off the roof ruin the package slightly? Let's find out.
Well, the normal R8 is one of the nicest mid-engine sports cars you could drive. It's really accessible performance, but this one is just as good. It hasn't lost any of its dynamic ability with the roof taken off, so it hasn't gone all baggy. It still drives just like the ordinary car, but then you get an even nicer noise from the V10 engine.
We know you've all been waiting with bated breath, but the moment it's finally arrived. We can now reveal the Auto Express Performance Car of the Year for 2010 is that.
The Ferrari 458 Italia. Here is a supercar which ticks absolutely every box, in bold, and then underlines it for good measure. For starters, the stunning looks tug on your heartstrings in a way that no other Ferrari has done so for years. Then there's the engine. It's just immense. A 4.5 litre V8 with 562 brake horsepower and the thrust of an Apollo space rocket. Performance is quite simply mind-boggling. When we timed it, the 458 managed 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 3.3 seconds. That's faster than what Ferrari actually claims it will do. The Fezzer is blindingly quick round corners too, plus you can even fine-tune the sensitivity of the stability control to suit your ability. And should you turn it off completely, you'll find that while the 458 is very sharp and extremely playful, it's totally predictable too. Needless to say, the Ferrari was super quick round our track. Its lap time was beaten only by the hardcore Porsche 911 GT3 RS, but just by a fraction of a second. But the 458 Italia is still the car all of the Auto Express road test team would rather own. We could go on about the noise too, but shall we let the engine do the talking instead? finally, all we need now is Owen's verdict on this very special Ferrari.
What a sensational car, it's amazing, awesome gearbox, really fast, incredible engine, amazing brakes, and the chassis is such a joy to drive. It's a lovely balance, it's a really special experience to drive this car.
The Ferrari 458 Italia, I mean, it's brilliant on the track, it's great on the road, it sounds amazing, and well, I mean, it looks awesome, and admittedly it is pretty expensive, but you could argue that it's actually great value for money. And that's why it's a worthy winner of the Auto Express Performance Car of the Year for 2010. Now I wonder if anyone noticed if I take it home.